Okay. Alright, so for the devotion in detail, like I said earlier, that you need to display the miniature into the monument. Now, the total of miniatures available in the game is about 127, and the method of getting it is either from the birthday party token, or drop, or special events. And you also have the quest for one of the green unique miniature as well, and it requires you to have all of the expansions in your account to be able to access that quest. Now for the white mini, you have 40 of them. For the purple one, 19, gold 46, and green 22, making up the total of 127. Now the first method of getting the miniatures is from the birthday party token, and it's available for you once per year, because when you create your character, right? Once the 12 months period pass, it will reward you with one of the token, the birthday token, and you can exchange that for one birthday gift. And for the gift, when you open them up, it will give you one of the mini. Now for the mini one, it depends on your luck. You could get a white mini, or a purple one, or a gold one, or the red one, depending on your luck. So if you lucky, then when you open it, you can get like a green one. If you're not so lucky, well, usually people open them up and they usually receive the white ones or the purple one. So white and purple has the those two have the higher chance compared to the red one and the green one, so just keep that in mind. And so it's per character, it's not the account, so just please keep that in mind. So if you create 5 characters and you wait for a year, then you have 5 tokens for you to open. And the second way is from drop, and it's extremely low. The first one, the first method that you can get is the location is from the Gate of Anguish, which is an outpost from the Nightfall campaign. And the zone for that one, usually that what I usually do for that Gate of Anguish is the Domain of Anguish. The Domain of Anguish is the elite zone for the Gate of Anguish outpost, and it's very difficult. Honestly, it's probably, in my personal opinion, strictly speaking, personal opinion, it is the most difficult zone in US1, in my personal opinion. But some people may think that yeah, the Domain of Anguish is easy for them, but in my personal opinion, yeah, it is the most difficult one. And to get access to that zone, you need to complete the Nightfall campaign, and it's not, it cannot be done in 10 hours or so. Last time when I did the Nightfall campaign, it took me about 30 hours, 20 something 30 hours in the Nightfall campaign. It was my first attempt too, so it's around around 30 hours to to reach the to finish off the campaign. And after you finish the campaign, you need to go and talk to one of the NPCs in order for you to gain the access to the Gate of Anguish. And then from the Gate of Anguish, then you can access to the elite zone, the Domain of Anguish. Now for the second one, the Gift of the Traveler. Now the Gift of the Traveler is from exchanging the trophies tokens in the game from the Nicholas the Traveler. Now the Nicholas the Traveler, he every single week he travels from one location to the other, and he requires a tokens from usually the trophy token that you can get from killing a mobs usually, and or from the dungeon. I will include a link down in the description on the cycle of the Nicholas, where he will be in this week or the next week, and you can have a look at it, and also have a look at the required tokens, so you can see which mob drop it, and so you can farm them. And the cap per week is 5 Gift of Travelers. So only 5 tokens per week for the Gift of Traveler, so you can get. And the Gift of Traveler, they not only draw for you the miniature, but they also reward you with all the consumables, all the stuff in the game as well. So like I said, it's extremely low for you to get a miniature from this. Usually I get a consumable from the Gift of Traveler, but I also get the items from, say, equipment, weapons, etc. Yeah, usually I get those. Now for the Horn of Heroes, this is not the dungeon. The drop from the Horn of Heroes is from the PvP zone. Yeah, and so you need to enter the PvP zone and start doing PvP, you know, player killing other players, and then random drop rate is extremely low for that. So you know, just I usually don't do a lot of PvP, so just be aware that it's, you know, when you do PvP, you know, sometimes you have to keep on repeating it for, you know, I don't know, 20, 30 times, 40 times before that they can drop it for you. The next one is the Imperial Guard Lux box, and this one is from the Wind of Change, which is the event, the quest after you complete the faction campaign. Now I complete the faction campaign in 11 hours, and that is in my second attempt. My first attempt for the faction campaign, it took me 20 hours. So first attempt, I don't know what to do, obviously, and it took me 20 hours to complete that campaign. But if you rush it, like I did in my second attempt, it took me only 11 hours. So please keep that in mind, that it might be a little bit more, so if you don't know what to do, and also if you are not geared enough for the faction campaign. So yeah, keep that in mind. Now for the Peacekeeper, which is in the war in Kaita. Now this one needs a completion in the Prophecy campaign to activate. Prophecy campaign is probably the longest one in my personal opinion. It took me about like 30 or 35 hours or so for me to complete the Prophecy campaign. And you know, that was in my first attempt. So in your attempt, if you rush it, you might complete it in 20 hours or so, 20 to 25 hours or so. But please keep that in mind, that that because I didn't know what to do, so the time that the estimate time of completion is only estimate that I can give to you of how much time that you should be preparing to spend in completing the Prophecy campaign. You might be, you know, it might be a little bit lower, so 20 to 25 hours. Otherwise you'll be looking at about 30 hours to complete in the Prophecy campaign. Now for the Royal Gift, now it's also from the war in Krita, and the white mantle, which is also in the war in Krita as well, require the completion of the Prophecy. Now for the heroes, strategist and gladiator, champion, Zaishen strongbox is for the PvP. Now from the underworld chest, now this one will require you to go to the elite zone, which is called the underworld, and it's extremely very difficult for you to complete if you are not geared enough. And trust me on this, it is one of the most difficult. I would say that it is there are 3 elite contents, actually, yeah, 3 elite zones in the game, actually 4, yeah, there's 4 elite zones in the game that actually people do it a lot. It's called the Fissure of War, the second one is the underworld, and the third one is the Domain of Anguish. Now is it 3 or 4? Yeah, actually 4. The last one is the Tomb of Primeval King. The zone for the Domain of Anguish is probably the most difficult one in my personal opinion, and the second one after that is the underworld. The Fissure was actually easier, and the Tomb of I would say the Tomb of Primeval King is the third one, and the easiest of the easy is the Fissure War. So this one will be the second hardest, and you need a geared heroes, well, not hero but heroes, because you're gonna get 8 of them inside the dungeon. I mean 7 of them including yourself, so that 8 players in the dungeon. Oh, I'm sorry, not the dungeon but the zone. You, 1 player, and 7 heroes inside the zone. Or if you do it other people, you need to know about the dungeon. What am I talking about? Not the dungeon. You need to know about the zone itself, and I will include the link in the description for all of the elite contents that I have attempted playlist for all of the videos of all of the elite content attempts inside the descriptions box, so you can check it out for yourself and see what it's like, so it can help you better understanding the zone itself. Now for the third one, which is a special events. Now for the special events, usually there are 3 of them. The first one is the Kantha New Year. The Kantha New Year happened during the Chinese New Year, which is around January to February of every single year. Now at the time of filming this, which is in July of 2015, what's the date today? Today is the 2nd of July. Yep, 2nd of July 2015, and I did my Kantha New Year for my Zodiac miniature back in January, so that's like 6 months ago. And the quest for you to do for the Kantha New Year, there's only one quest for you to do, and it will only reward you with 1 Zodiac miniature, and it's a rare one. So in summary, you can only get 1 rare miniature for this period, for this event every year, only 1 every year, and there are 12 Zodiac miniatures for you to pick from. And so if you play it for the next 12 years, you can get all 12 of them. But let's be honest here, Guild Wars 1 has been around for 10 years. So I really have no idea how long are they going to keep the game on going. So, you know, they might stop it in the next 5 years or so, or they may stop it in the next 10 years or so. So who knows? You know, you might be, you might be playing for the next 10 years and it's still going, or they might cut it off in the next 2 years or 3 years. So it's up to the publisher to decide what they are going to do with the game. And the second one is for the Winter's Day, which has happened during the December Christmas period for the polar bear. And obviously you need to do the quest for that as well. And for the Wayfarer, I'm not sure when is it going to happen this year. I don't have the exact day with me at the moment, but I will include in the description on the link of the cycle for this event. And the miniature that you're gonna get is from the Legion. It's called the Legionnaire, and it's a rare miniature as well. The same with Polar Bear and the same with the Zodiac. So the special events will reward you with the gold miniature, the rare one. Now that's it for the method, the acquisition method. Now it's time to go to the points for the monuments. Now there will be, in total, there will be 8 points for you to, the maximum amount of points that you can get from the monument. And it requires for you to obtain the clean miniatures. Clean miniatures, when you get it from the birthday token, or when you done the quest and special events, from the special event, you will get a clean miniature that hasn't been displayed into any whole monuments, or you know in the game it's called dedicated. Now when you get a clean one, that clean one will be called undedicated miniatures. And for the undedicated miniature, that's the status of the clean one. So when you purchase it from other players to to speed it up for your monument, look for the text that's saying that has it been dedicated. If it hasn't been dedicated, don't purchase it, because you won't be able to dedicate it again, display it again onto your horns of monument. So in summary, you can only display a clean mini, and the clean mini is called the undedicated miniatures in the game. And when you have the undedicated mini, you can display it onto the horns of monument, and when you display it onto your horns of monument, it will be marked as dedicated status. So for the next one, you have 50 miniatures available for you to, the maximum amount of dedication that you can put in to the devotion monument. And you need, one of them has to be the rare one, and one of them has to be the unique. And so that's 8 points out of 8. Now for the white mini, well, it's very, very cheap. So that's why I'm saying that, it's not very efficient for you to wait every year so that you can get one mini, one token per year, just so that you can get some of the white minis, because that's just nonsense. I usually purchase from other players, and it's quite cheap, to be honest. I bought many of them for the price of 1 platinum. Now 1 platinum 1 platinum is equal to 1000 gold. So I use the term 1k or 1 platinum interchangeably to say the money of the currency. So 1 platinum, I usually purchase them for one platinum, but the maximum I would allow myself to purchase the white mini is 3 platinums, no more than that. And for the purple one, the lowest that I pay for is 3 platinums, but I usually pay for around like 5 platinum to 6 platinums or around within that range. The maximum that I pay for is about 11 platinum, so it's not too far off from 10 platinums. So I would not allow myself to purchase any more than 10,000 golds, but you know, there was one of them that I saw that I quite like it, so I pay for 11,000 gold. But yeah, it's just one. Usually I pay for 5 to 6 platinums, and I would not allow myself to pay for any more than 10,000 gold or 10 platinums. The rare one, now this one is quite interesting because I bought a few of them for 5 platinums, but I also saw, I have seen some people, they have been selling them for 50 platinums. So again, it depending on, you know, if you want to buy it or not, or do the quest, because if you do the quest, you get one of them for free. Well, not free, because it's like, you know, you spend the time on doing it, but you can get one of them for you know, just putting in your effort instead of wasting your money. I wouldn't call it a waste, but yeah, you get the idea. For the green unique, now this one is very, very interesting. I have seen some of the green miniatures that cost about 150 ectoplasms. And 1 ecto is around 10,000 gold. So that's fucking 1,500 platinums. That's a lot of money, and I would assume that when you just started up, you wouldn't have the access to 1,500 platinums to just get one fucking mini. That's just nonsense. Honestly, I wouldn't pay 150 ectoplasms just for me to get one green mini and then display it. It just doesn't make sense, because like if you have 1,500 platinums, you can spend it onto your other monuments, and potentially you know, you might fill up for like 30 or 50 points. So yes, it's very, very expensive, and it's not worth it to just purchase the green miniatures just so that you can display into the devotion. However, if you're lucky, I have seen, there was only one time that I have seen one person that actually was selling for I think it was around 50 platinums. Yeah, but honestly, that was, I only saw one person that did it, so it's very unlikely to find seller, because let's be honest, there's no auction house in Guild Wars 1. You need to wait at the outpost called the Commandant, and then, you know, like start fighting the seller and start trading with them, etc. But it would be very, very unlikely for you to actually find someone that can sell you for 50 platinums. And but if you can, I'm saying if you're lucky, and if you can find one person that sell you for one mini for like 50 platinums, go for it. I mean, like, by all means, go for it, because it saves you a lot of time. Or cheaper. By all means, like if you can find anybody that can sell you a green miniature for like 20 platinums, 30 platinum, by all means, just go for it, because you know you're getting yourself a good deal, so you can display onto the devotion. And the suggestion that I have for you to get 8 points for this is that you need 40 white miniatures, 8 purple, So that's like what, assuming that you pay for one platinum each, so that's 40k. This one you pay for, let's say 5, okay, so that's another 40k. This one you get from quests. This one either 50. Oh, and for the green, the unique miniature, you can there's a quest for you to get one, but it requires you to have the access to all of the campaigns, all of them, because some of the materials only available from Prophecy, some of them only available to Faction, Nightfall, and Eye of the North. And then on top of that, when you have all of the materials, you need to go back and then start doing the dungeon in the Prophecy campaign. So yes, you need to have access to all of the campaign for you to be able to do the quest exclusively, one of the quests for the green miniatures. If you don't have all of the access to all of the campaign, then yeah, I can't help you in that. You have to find someone that can sell you for a reasonable price or farm a lot. You know, 150 ectoplasms is insane for someone to just start up. I mean, like for the veteran player, 150 ectoplasms is not really that difficult for them because they've been playing for so many years. But for you to just start up 150 ectoplasms, it's just, yeah, it's just nuts. So let's just assume that you can find one for 50. Yeah, that's, you know, unlikely, but let's just assume for the sake of the discussion that you can get one of them for 50. So that will cost you around 90 platinums. But if you can get rid of this, then you get one for 40. If you can do it by quest. If you can do this one by quest, then it will just 40. And besides, you're gonna be playing if you have the access to all of the campaigns, all of the expansion. Besides, you're gonna be playing all of them anyway. And so when you play all of them anyway, you just look for the material while you're playing. And so yeah. But honestly, this is just a suggestion, okay? This is just my personal opinion, recommendation for you to do it. But at the time of filming this, the 2nd of July, I haven't completed 8 out of 8. My one is only, let me see, 6 out of 8. I bought 30 of the white mini, and I bought 10 purple ones. I didn't buy the gold one, but I did one for the quest. For the gold, and I also get another one for another quest as well, so that's 2. And I have one for the green one, which is from the quest. Yeah, so I have only 6 out of 8. But come on, let's be realistic here. If you want to have, like I said earlier in the introductions, if you want to have 30 out of 50, this is the way to go. You only need 6 out of 8. But if you want 50 out of 50 horns of monument points, then yes, you would be aiming to get 8 out of 8. But if you're just aiming for 30 out of 50 just for the skins, then yes, 6 out of 8. Now for the quest of the green miniatures, it's that one, green magic. Let me just erase this one. Yeah, for the green magic, it's a long quest. It's a very long quest. It will require you to complete the majority of the campaign before you can actually have the access to the region that drop the materials, and also the access to the dungeon, the final dungeon of this one. So let me just give you an overview. Obviously, I will include a link in the description for the black magic, so that you can click on it and see what it's like, and helping you doing the quest to get the black moor step by step, obviously in the video, along with all the comments that I make, and also some of the tips and tricks that I make inside that video, so that it can better assisting you in doing it and understanding what it's like about this jig. Like this quest for the jig. So for the prophecy, an overview for that, you need to complete about 90% of the dungeon. I keep using the term dungeon, but it's not a dungeon, but it's a campaign. So for the prophecy, you need to complete 90% of the campaign, so that you can get them, so that you can reach the zone, which is in the volcanic region. That's what I call it. And then there's a material in there that you can get, and it requires you to complete 90% of the campaign. And like I said earlier, it took me about 30 hours or so for me to complete the prophecy campaign. So it requires a commitment. For the faction campaign, you need to reach the Kujik and the Luxons. Regions, and that's about 70% of the completion of the campaign for you to reach the Kujik and also the Luxons. For the Nightfall one, let me see, you around 70% as well, around 70% as well, because you need to go to the region called Vabi, and the Vabi is in the north of the northeast of the map, and to get there you pretty much complete about 70% of the campaign anyway. For the Eye of the North, you have to complete about only 20% of that. That's it. So as you can see that it requires, well, for the Kujik and Luxon, I would not say it's 80% of 70%. I would say that's more toward to the 80% completion of the campaign. So as you can see that 90% completion of the prophecy faction is about 80%, Vabi in Nightfall is 70%, and 20% of Eye of the North. And on top of that, you have to do the dungeon, and it takes about 2 hours. When I first did it, it took about 2 hours or 2 hours and a half. I can't remember, but yeah, I will include everything, the link in the description, and my commentary for the quest in here, so that you can have a look at it and better understanding about what is this quest required and what do you need to do in order for you to get the green miniatures. So yes, it is time consuming for you to finish off all of the campaign and do the quests, getting the materials before you can actually have a green miniatures. Or you can argue that why don't I just pay 50 platinums, but think about it. Would you find someone that can sell you for 50? For 50, that's very unlikely. Or you can farm it, but I mean, like, how long are you going to keep on farming just for one miniature? It's very inefficient just to farming just to get one miniature. Or you can farm it and get the money and then spend on the miniature. But hey, I mean, honestly, I'd rather spend that money onto my other monument. So I would highly recommend you to do the quest, because you're gonna be completing the prophecy campaign, you're gonna be completing the faction, the Nightfall and the Eye of the North anyway, for your what do you call it, for your game, for your account, for your and you're playing it for fun, you're playing for entertainment, you're playing it so that you can get the points for your guilds too. And why not just do the quest? If you have the access for all of them, yes, I would highly recommend you just do the quest. But if you don't, then, well, again, I cannot help you in that department. You have to find some seller for you to to purchase for 50 platinums. But again, it's very unlikely. So if you have the access to all of the expansions, go for the quest. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the devotion monument. So I will see you in the next video for the next monument. See you there.